Good evening, everybody. Here you go. I'm now on camera. You can see me. We always have that little chat in the beginning, in the vault, while we're waiting for people to join. Those on the replay, you won't see that. We have a little private conversation there. But if you're watching this on the replay on YouTube, massively appreciate you being here. Thank you. Mother, who's this? Mother Adam. Mother Adam's here. That's a new username. Not seen that one before. For those who don't know me, my name is Ross. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester in the UK, and I scope twice a week. I run a website called Act On This, the TV Actors Network. You can find it at actonthis.tv. And on there you'll find hundreds of hours of interviews with some incredible people from the acting industry, actors, casting directors, writers, producers, people right at the top of the UK industry, and some people from the States as well. Who's that? Tommy's here as well. Tommy, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I scope twice a week, once on a Monday night, which is tonight. We do something called Motivation and Mind Hacks, and that's exactly what it is. It's stuff to help you become more motivated within the industry. It can be to do with personal development, but the tonight is actually more about the tools you can use to get yourself further in your career much faster. On a Wednesday night, we do a book club, and don't forget, guys, going to be back on Wednesday with the second book club on The 5 Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. Sounds like a pretty morbid book, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's a super inspirational book about 5 regrets that you don't want to die with, all right? And by becoming aware of them through the book club, then hopefully you're going to get to the end of your life and you won't die with those regrets. So it's not morbid at all. So tonight, guys, we're talking about Instagram. Okay, and I know a lot of people will already be on Instagram, but some people it might not be. Actually, give me some yeses or some nos if you're actually on it already. A lot of people will have used Instagram for the last couple of years to take photographs of their dinner, take photographs of their dog, take photographs of their latte with some heart on the top of it. A load of kind of documentation of people achieving very little goes on Instagram. So Sam says yes, Mary says no. I'm on it, says Tony. Haven't been consistent yet. Consistency is key, Tony. We're going to talk about that tonight as well. No, not as yet, Miranda. Well, I promise you, by the end of this scope, you're all going to want to be on it. And if you don't want to be on it, that's fair enough. This Periscope is for the doers. It's for the people with vision. It's for the actors, like I say, who can see where the puck is going, not where the puck might currently be, okay? Dawn says, yes, don't know how to use it. I'm going to show you tonight, Dawn. I'm going to give you a lot of little things so you actually really understand how Instagram works and how bloody effective it can be. You've got to have imagination, you've got to have vision, and you've got to be prepared to throw your hat into the ring. But if you're supposed to, have this yearning desire to be an actor, then that all should come naturally to you. You should have the vision, you should have the drive, you should have the motivation, and, you should have the work ethic to go, I'm going to show up consistently in order to get myself out there. Because if you're not doing things that other people aren't doing, ultimately, how is anyone ever going to notice you? Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about a few ways that you can really start to up your game for exposure, because Instagram, for those who don't know, it's incredibly visual. The whole thing is built around pictures and video, okay? And what do actors mostly do? Well, they produce pictures and video. So it's a perfect platform. I think it's even more perfect than Twitter. For me, the big one for actors, probably at the moment, or has been over the last couple of years, has been Twitter without a doubt. It's where I focus most of my attention. My attention now is moving across to Instagram. And I promise you, out of the big players, and I would stake major money on this, out of the big players in terms of the social media platforms, I promise you, the two that will still be around in 5 years and in 10 years because of the vision of their CEOs are Facebook and Instagram. I promise you that. They just are. Before Facebook, we had loads of things, didn't we? Friendster, MySpace, Bebo, all that bullshit never lasted the course. You get a CEO with an insane vision like Mark Zuckerberg, it's going to be around for a long, long time. It's the same with Instagram as well. Instagram is now a Facebook product. So it's going to be here to stay, okay? This isn't a fad. If you invest in Instagram now and you start creating content on there and you start creating a following, that will pay dividends in 5, 10, 15 years as well. Those who are lazy, can't be arsed, think, oh no, it's a fad. Don't do it. It's fine. Let's see where you're at in 2020. See where you're at in 2025. Because as much as people don't want to admit it, TV is becoming what the radio is, guys. There's no surprise right now that massive casting directors, and I had a call from one last week, is working on a exclusive for Netflix. People are working on an exclusive for Amazon Prime, and that's where the money is at for these people as well, because these private production companies giving these products, to places like Netflix, places like Amazon Prime, the budgets are huge, okay, because they can reach tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people potentially, globally. Whereas you put something on ITV in the UK on prime time at 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, you're going to hit 8 million, 10 million tops. That's it. So I promise you, online is where it's going to be. You won't see that necessarily right now from people like the BBC because they are, a little bit stuck in their ways and they think it's risky, don't they? But for the smaller guys, and particularly for us, we can start using all of this online stuff right now because ultimately we're not stuck in a system that is all about broadcasting and television. So you need to start promoting your content way more on the internet and also start creating a shitload more content as well, because this is where people's attention as in viewers is going to as well. So you're not just going to be discovered by people in the acting industry. Ultimately, you can create your own thing as well and get millions of eyeballs on your own stuff. You no longer need, and I keep saying this, permission from anybody to start acting and start creating if you've got the drive and you want it bad enough. There are people that tell me every single day, they want it, I'm born to do this, it's the only thing I can do. Bullshit, because your actions are not congruent to your words. Your actions tell me you're lazy and you can't be arsed. So tonight's scope is not for anyone who's lazy who can't be arsed. I'm going to throw some slides up. Hey guys, I've redesigned these. If you're watching on your phone or your iPad, turn it on its side now, guys. You're going to be able to see these slides better. But yeah, turn it on its side and you're going to be able to watch this presentation a little bit better. I've put a few slides together tonight, guys, to just show you, ultimately the justification of what I'm talking about. Like I say, you can buy into this or not, but I think some of what I'm going to show you is going to speak volumes for itself. So this is why I think all actors need to get on Instagram now. And like I say, this is early adoption, okay? It is to a certain extent. In the States, there's a lot of people on it already. In the UK, we're seeing some traction, but not as much as we're going to see over the next 12 months. So this is why I think you need to get on it now, because it's not then a point of you catching up or being too late to the party. You're arriving nice and early or just on time. We've already shared the scope, so thanks for that. If there's anyone who's just joined and you weren't in the little lobby before we started, please, I would massively appreciate it. I mean the world to me if you shared this. You just click the dots at the bottom of your screen where the arrow's pointing to. You click share, whack it out on I was nearly said Instagram. I don't think you can share it on Instagram yet, but put it out on Twitter for me. Thank you, Fanny, for sharing it. I've just seen you share that. Carl's here as well. Good evening, Carl. Put it out on Facebook. But yeah, ultimately, if people don't come and watch this, thanks, Miranda. Thanks, James. It's their loss, all right? We'll keep it between ourselves because this is stuff that for people who have turned up tonight, you're going to benefit from. For those who haven't, let them go and watch House of Cards or whatever they're watching right now. So why Instagram and why now, guys? You might recognize some of these stats from a scope we did on social media a few weeks back. The number of Instagram users right now is 500 million. Okay? It's 500 million people are currently on Instagram. Photos and videos shared per day, 95 million. How many of those 95 million photos and videos shared today were yours? Let me know. Give me a number. Type it in the chat. How many posts have you made to Instagram today, guys? Whether that's Instagram stories, Instagram video, or Instagram pictures. Because 95 million are going to get shared. 10, says Steve. 10, man, that's good. 10. If you are putting out, seriously, Steve, consistently 5 to 10 pieces of content a day on Instagram, and I'll tell you how you can do that in a minute. It's not all pictures on the main profile. There's something called Instagram Stories, which is where I want you to be doing a lot of this consistency. But if you're putting out 5 to 10 pieces of content, Steve, you are winning, mate. I tend to post between 1 and 3 pics a day. Fanny, that's fine on your main profile. Stories is where it's going to be at as well. Like I say, and that's where you can get your other 5, pieces of content in throughout the day. So you're not just flooding your wall with stuff. Stories, I'm going to come on to in a little bit. 80% of users of Instagram are from outside the US. I hear a lot of UK people saying, "Oh, I'm not on Instagram because it's all American." It's not. 80% of users of that 500 million are from outside of the US. Which is quite a startling fact, but that's the case. Users like 4.2 billion posts per day. So there's 95 million new ones posted every day. But on average, 4.2 billion posts are liked by those 500 million people actually who are on Instagram. And posts with at least one hashtag. Hashtags are massively important on Twitter. I nearly said Twitter. On Instagram. They are on Twitter as well. But on Instagram, they're particularly important, and I'm going to show you some examples of those tonight as well. But you get 12.6% more engagement if you use just one hashtag on Instagram, all right? And we'll go through a few of the hashtags you should be using on a slide a few slides away. Hashtags are massive, says Fanny. They certainly are. They certainly are. So Instagram for actors, all right? This was a basic search, and you might not be able to see what's on these screens here. I'm going to read them to you. This is a basic search that I put out at 6:50 p.m. when I was writing up this presentation for tonight. And all I did was I did a search on Instagram, and I just put hashtag actors, and it was going to bring up every hashtag that had actors in it. And then it's going to go through people. We're going to look at tags, and we're going to look at places as well. So tonight, when I searched for actors, the top hashtag and the one that you should be using in every single post that you make was actors life. You might have if you're watching this on Twitter, and you're on Twitter, you probably use it on a daily basis. But 1,163,377 posts have actors life in them right now. So those people who are like, oh, no actors use Instagram, bullshit. Again, all right? The hashtag actors itself had actually 1,700,000. So actually that had more than actors life. Yeah, so actors alone had 1,700,685 posts. Then we have things that have, so they're the two biggest ones, Actors and Actors Life. Then we have stuff like Actors Studio, Actors Access, that's a casting platform in the US. Actors Life with a clapperboard was another one, but only had 3,290. Actors World, Actors Equity, Actors Studio, Actors School. But that was just actors. I didn't even do a search for acting, casting, auditions, showreel, all those kind of things. So ultimately, I mean, there alone, if you just say Actors and Actors Life, you've got 3 million posts. 3 million have Actors and Actors Life in, okay? So those who are saying Instagram is not a platform for actors, I disagree with you massively. On the second picture there, you see where I said thousands of big names, okay? You see people who are on there already, and they're generally people who are connected to in some way to either people you follow, because Instagram's algorithm is very specific, and it will tailor the results that you're seeing on these screens very much to you. So when I did it, I had Actors Headshot, which is a company in Manchester where I am. The Actors Centre Official, which is a massive company here in the UK for training and workshops. Actors Temple in London is a big acting school in London. Actors Equity. Lime Actors is a management company here in Manchester as well. Map Platform is a Manchester Actors platform. The Actors Lab is another acting school in Manchester. So you'll see when you do a search as well, and you click on the People tab, you'll see the kind of accounts that are located near you that are really popular. So it's very easy to find people, first of all. And I've been really surprised over the last 2 weeks just who is on Instagram already, but not using their account. So Tony, you said you've been on Instagram quite a bit, but you're not consistent. Consistency is key, because you'll go on some of these accounts and they won't have posted in 3 months. They're not, remotely utilizing the opportunity that is in front of them. So consistency is key. Now, if we go onto the next couple of screens that I'm going to show you on this search that I did. If we move on to tags, again, it shows you other popular tags that people are using. And then the screen on the right there is places. And again, that's places that are local to you that are using the hashtags you're searching for, and it even shows you their addresses. So if you're like, you know what, I'm looking for an acting school right now, or a showreel producer, and I want to know actually who is local to me. I mean, I can see there the Actors Lab, 210 Broadway, Media City, City of Salford. That's really close to where I live in Manchester. You will have heard of Media City. I film all of the Acts on This TV interviews in Media City. And then it will have, other really popular places as well. Some are in London, but generally they're going to be UK-based stuff. Okay, so it's very specific to you. Here in the States, you're going to see a lot of the States stuff over there. But we've got Pure Actors Agency, a management company in Manchester there. The Library Theatre, John Nichols Actors Headshot Photographer, again in Manchester, in Wilmslow. So it's really easy, ultimately. My point here is to find the people who you want to be following out of those 500 million that are on Instagram. It's easier than any other platform. Can you zoom up these slides a bit, Ross? Nina, I don't know if I can. Let me see if when I zoom on here, if it zooms on your screen or if we just lose all the aspect ratio. Let me see if that does anything for you. It might just all go a little bit crazy. That's why I'm trying to read as much as I can. So you can see, how's that, Nina? Is that a bit better for you? I'm going to have to zoom out when I move on to the next slides because we're looking at text that's a bit bigger than that. Zooms on here as well, says Steve. Nice one. So you can see there, but I mean, have a look there. Let me zoom write in on this. Look at that. So there, that actor's life and actors. Look, 1,163,378 and 1.7 million actors. So people are going, I'm hearing people today say, it doesn't, Instagram I don't think it's going to work for actors. Well, there's 3 million posts there that would disagree with you. So you carry on playing with what you're playing with. And like I say, let's see where you're at in 2 years' time when you've built absolutely zero, I don't want to say following, but, zero kind of presence on these platforms. Because you're going to be way behind anybody who has actually created a presence on there. So there's just a few stats. So who's with me so far in terms of agreeing that it's quite an opportunity to tap into that you've probably not looked at before? And like I say, this is for really like the visionaries, the content producers, people who are like, I don't have to wait for permission of a casting director to create my own work. I have the skills, or I'm going to develop the skills to create my own stuff. So Sam's saying, yeah. Dawn is saying, yeah. Those who are lazy and are like, you know what, I'm just going to do it the whole traditional route, and I'm going to do what everyone else is doing and probably only ever have what everyone else is having, which is very little success. It's probably not for you, but stay with me if you're like, yeah, I want to tap into some of this, because you know what, it might take me a bit of time, but that time's going to pass anyway. I might as well have a crack at this. So yeah, moving on. Let me have a look, because I've just zoomed. Let me see if I can zoom out of here and then just move slides. Here we go. So what can you post on Instagram? I'm going to be all over this like a duvet, says Nina. Nina, you are like super proactive. I'm excited to see what you are going to produce on here. I don't know if I'm following you already. This is the Act on This TV account. I've got my own personal Ross A. Grant account as well. I'm going to show you those at the end and share so we can all follow each other, because that's something that I'm going to share a little bit of insight into in the very end of this. For those who stay on to the end, about how you can, it's not gaming in terms of, it's not cheating Instagram's algorithm, but there's something we can do together that I want to share just to the most dedicated people on here, really, where we can get some big traction by helping each other. Okay, and I'm going to share that right at the end. So what can you post on Instagram? First of all, photos. This is what most of you guys are going to be posting, all right? See a little motivational quote that I've put on there, and it says, the only person you need permission from is yourself. Stuff like that generally gets quite a lot of likes, and shares and stuff like that on social media, and Instagram is no different. Okay, it's always popular, when you're posting stuff like that. So I've got some examples here of what you can post for your photos. So headshots obviously is a good one. If you've got multiple headshots, different looks, it's really good. Great place to upload high quality headshots. Behind the scenes of an acting job you are on, okay, you get a lot of success, guys, by association in this industry. So if you get to do an acting job, whether you are working on that job for an hour or a day or 6 months, if you can get a couple of shots, and you've got to be careful here, because you're not allowed to just take shots willy-nilly in terms of giving plot lines away. You must be responsible when you're doing this. But if you ask your director, or the line producer, and go, look, can I have a picture of myself with the star or whatever, or or with your co-stars or the actors you're working with? Is this okay? We're not going to give away plot and all that kind of stuff. I'm not taking pictures of my script. Don't ever do that. People do that. Don't ever do that. Then it's a great thing to post, because then you're saying, look, not only am I, I'm utilizing this platform to be known, but I'm actually working as well, so it's a really good thing if you can get some behind the scenes kind of stuff. Inspirational quotes, headshots, and then also special skills, guys. So a lot of actors never show off their special skills, and nobody knows they can do something that could often get them a job. So if you play the guitar, or you horse ride, or you sword fight, or you sing, or you skateboard, anything that's not just the ordinary, you want to be posting pictures of yourself doing that, so people are aware of your skills. I don't know about you, but I never look at special skills when someone sends me their CV, because it's always in tiny writing right at the end. I just never give it any time at all. Yet if I see a video of somebody, brilliant dancer, fantastic horse rider, singer, just whatever, I'm like, wow, I never knew they could do that. And it's way more impressive when you see it as opposed to just see somebody writing it down. A lot of people bloody lie on their CVs anyway. A friend of mine once said he could horse ride until he turned up to the job and was told to jump over a fence. And then he had to admit that, no, he'd barely ever been on a horse. So don't lie, but it's a great place to put pictures of your special skills and just showcase extras. Show that you're more than just an actor, that you're actually, you're interesting. There's something, about you. Next up, videos, okay? And this is where it's starting to get interesting now. Your videos on Instagram have to be 60 seconds or less, okay? Now, yesterday, if you joined us, me and Chris Stone, for Showreel Surgery, you will have seen something that we've come up with called Insta Reels, which are 60-second show reels. And I think these are so powerful because you can create multiple versions of these. If you've got enough, clips available, you might have a, 2-minute, 3-minute show reel. You can create, 3, 2, 3, 4, depending on how many clips you've got. Ultimately, dozens of new kind of reels for yourself that are short, snappy, not going to bore people, and you've got way more chance of somebody seeing them because you're putting out multiple ones. It's not like if you put one reel out on Twitter and someone misses it, it's gone. Instagram, you can put a different clip out every other day. You've got, 3, 4, 5 times as much chance of people spotting that, okay? So your clips have to be 60 seconds or less, guys. But you could use that for those reels. Or if you've just got short scenes that you've been on TV and you know what, I've got like a 30-second scene from Coronation Street or Emmerdale or whatever film you've been in recently, you can maybe put the whole scene on as well, which is nice because a lot of people, only ever have tiny little clips of it in their reel. We don't often see the full scene. This gives you an opportunity to post a full scene if you have got the footage available and it's less than a minute. And then also promo videos to let people know that you're going to be like on telly tonight or you've got a new YouTube video coming out. And I'm going to show you a couple of those that I've been doing for Act on This that are really simple. These are only 15-second ones that I've been doing. Text-based videos that ultimately, are right now I'm just doing it to advertise Act on This and what I'm doing on the website. But I could easily do in my own career by going, guys, brand new episode of Doctors is out tomorrow. Well, I've got an episode of Doctors coming out in April. So I will do that for this. If you've got any kind of basic knowledge of video editing, this is all text-based stuff, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples. It's very, very simple. In fact, let's just jump in. I'm going to play you guys a 60-second cut of my show reel, which is normally 2 minutes and 19 seconds, so I can upload it directly to Twitter. Me and Chris Stone got it down to 60 seconds. You will be surprised how much and how many scenes you can get in an Insta reel, okay? I promise you, when you watch this, you'll think, oh, that's the last scene, and then another scene will pop up, and you think, oh, that's the last scene, and another scene will pop up. There's a formula to this. I can't go into it tonight, but if you want to know how best to formulate an Insta reel, watch the Showreel Surgery episode 3. That's going to be available on actonthis.tv tomorrow. The replay will go up on actonthis.tv tomorrow. But here's a 60-second cut of my reel. Let me know what you think. Wow. Well, thanks. How did you know?
Not much gets past me.
No, you're just stalking me on Twitter again, aren't you? What's going to be a ring? I shit myself. You get to spend the rest of the night in the pub if you want.
Maybe tomorrow.
Sure. It's a super day.
It's a smashing view.
Well, it's all in with the price. Your son, Robert, was fatally injured at Maxfield's Wholesalers this morning.
This is the busiest port in the world.
So why are they offering you 1,200 quid to go away? That's a lot of piss-off money for someone they want to keep. Now you tell your little bitch to put down his gun because I ain't talking to you like this. No more secrets. Happy New Year, Dad. So that's just a little example, guys. We were just playing with that yesterday, really quickly, me and Chris going, right, how can we actually make a 60-second reel make sense? And we got a lot of clips in there within that 60 seconds that does make sense. It starts, with a nice clip. It ends with a resolution. There's various points throughout of contrast. And I think it works. Now, you would create multiple versions of that. That aren't just the one. If I've maybe got 14, 15 clips from telly, I could create 5 reels from that probably, of all various ones. You might have a comedy one, you might have a drama one. You could have the full scenes if you want, like I say. So you end up with the the full video on there. And then, like I say, in fact, you know what? Let me see if I've got one of these. I've got a. Let me see if I've got an example of one of the adverts. So, like, I was talking about like a text-based advert. I've been doing this to advertise ads on this today. Here's a little version of what I would create if I was like, I wanted to catch someone's attention to say, look, I'm going to be on TV tonight. I've got a play coming out next week. I've just created a new YouTube video. Go and watch it. Anything like that. I would create something like this in a video editing program, basic text, and just animate the text. And it would look something like this. So this is something that you could do as well. My connection was a little bit dodgy there. I don't know if it was for everybody else, but I was trying to watch this on my phone. My connection went a little bit skew with there. Hopefully you got the gist of that though. Basically, yeah, it's animated, what they call kinetic text. Well, they made that on. So I made that on something called Final Cut Pro on Mac, Fanny. So if you've got a Mac or a MacBook, you can get Final Cut. You can do similar things to that in iMovie as well, though. There's a lot of it's basic text really. It's a logo. And then just text, and then you can animate the text basically in and out. Okay, so yes, there's a little bit of learning required, but I didn't go to uni for this. I've never, I wasn't born tech savvy or anything like that. I just sat down for a few hours, Googled a YouTube, video of how to do it, and then that was it. I'm away. You just got to practice. I don't know, but some people asking about the connection. My connection was going a little bit funny then, but I think it's back. Give me some yeses if the connection's back and everything is okay, guys, and we'll move on to the next slide. If you can hear it loud and clear. Everyone's saying yeah. Mary's saying yeah. Awesome. Periscope's been a little bit funny today, so bear with us if there's anything that's cutting out or anything. Everyone's saying yes, fine. Fantastic. Massively appreciate it. So so you could create those, like I say, if you were going to, you had something coming out and you wanted people to see it. And like I say, you would put those out multiple times every other day, or even a couple of times a day, different ones. And you're just creating consistent, high quality content that people are going to notice. Because on Twitter, what do you have? Static text, black text on a white background. So many people miss it. And also, you can regurgitate these things you're creating for Instagram, by the way. And I do this, and I upload them to Twitter. So you're creating them for both platforms as well, guys. It's not only going to be used on Instagram. This content can be used on Twitter. It's the right aspect ratio to use on Facebook as well. So you can actually use it on multiple platforms. You're not only putting it out on Instagram. Next up, and this is new, something called stories. Anybody done an Instagram story? Anyone heard of Instagram stories? Anybody watched one of my Instagram stories over the last couple of weeks? Now I've been using it for acts on this. Let me know. Let me know if you have used it. Fanny says yes. She has. So Instagram stories are 15 seconds or less. Why is my slide not changing? I've changed my slide, but it's not showing. Let me see although it is showing there. Are you guys seeing a slide that says stories on it? Because I'm seeing a slide that says videos on it. Let me know if you see it. Oh, there you go. It's changed. It's all right. It changed for me. It was hanging around a little while. So people are saying, yeah, okay, they've seen stories. Yeah, cool. So yeah, the 15-second clips, basically, and you post these to your Instagram story. It doesn't go on your main profile. People have to click into your story. And once 24 hours is up, that story disappears. So any clip that you have on there that's 15 seconds or less will only last for 24 hours. After that, it disappears and it's gone. Now, this is perfect, though, because it piques people's interest and keeps them coming back, because they know if they don't check in regularly, they're going to miss something. Now, this is obviously only going to work for people who post interesting content consistently. So, yes, it's going to require work, and you're maybe going to have to post, 3, 4, 5 of these a day. But hopefully, if you are as dedicated as you're telling me you are, and a lot of people telling me they are, then you should be out doing interesting things. You're not just going to post 5 pictures of yourself sat next to the phone going, agent's still not called, agent's still not called, agent's still not called. You've got to obviously go out and do stuff, all right? But you should be doing that anyway, all right? This is a great way to document it. And it also makes creation of content easier, because you're not having to think, oh, what do I have to create? I've got to come up with something clever. You actually have to just document what you're doing. And documenting is so much easier than creating, okay? So this is perfect for behind-the-scenes clips of anything acting related. You on the way to an audition, you in a rehearsal, you on set. Like I say, if you're allowed, don't do this if you're not allowed on set and you're going to get into trouble. Basically, anything you feel would be of interest. And then what you can do, you can see on my picture, that's me in the car last night with Chris Stone after our showreel surgery. And I just put a little caption on there, and you can do this within Instagram that says, thank you so much for joining us, replay up, and then a web link. You might put something like, just put a new video up on YouTube, guys, of my showreel, brand new showreel out. And then just put a link to your website there, or a link to YouTube, or a link to Vimeo, or wherever. It's great for promoting anything that you've got. And the stories are, I'll play a little video now. The stories are basically, this is a little promo I created. You won't hear me talking this, unfortunately, but you'll see me basically in a studio. You'll see me sat at my desk. This is a little promo video I created just to get people to follow Acts on This TV. So yeah, also, if you're not following Acts on This TV on Instagram, follow. So yeah, make sure you're following. So you can see there on those clips, okay, that's literally like, I'm just here, sat at my desk going, all right, everybody, yeah, I'm doing this. Or, I'm out in a car, or I'm out at a studio doing a voiceover or whatever. And also what you find is you get loads of opportunities to get other people involved in your stories as well. So if you're out with another actor rehearsing something, it's easy to create content. Just throw the camera on them. Or when I'm in a voiceover session, I'll throw it on the engineer or on someone else who's doing the voiceover with me, or my agent or something like that. And it's very easy to create some compelling content that other people are going to watch. I mean, let's face it, guys. People have made millions on reality TV, literally just doing boring stuff. If you're doing anything exciting, get it on an Instagram story, because people, will find it compelling. And like I say, because it disappears in 24 hours, it's gone, then people are going to want to come back, and they're going to go. And every time you post something new to your story, it appears at the top of the screen on Instagram with like a little colourful ring around it to go, something's new. So people know straight away if you've posted something new. They don't have to go looking for it. It comes to them. So as long as you're creating new content, it should be pretty easy for you. Last thing I want to look at tonight, and I've not really decided how I'm going to use this yet, because this has literally only just gone live over the last couple of weeks. And that is indeed live, okay? You can now do Instagram live. So like I'm doing Periscope live right now, or for those who are watching the replay, you're just watching the replay, but this was live when I did it. You can actually now go live on Instagram, okay? Now you go live literally at the click of a button, and then once you end, there is no recording and no replay. So unfortunately, if people aren't there, well, fortunately, I think it is for you. If they're not there, they aren't going to see it. Now, people can subscribe with a little notifications to go every time, Jen goes live, or Fanny goes live, or I go live, or whatever. You can get a little notification, and it'll say Ross has just gone live. So it's pushing out to all of your, your followers, and then people can tune in. And very much like we're doing on Instagram now, not on Instagram. I keep saying Instagram, on Periscope now. You can comment. So you can write comments and people can interact. So again, that's perfect. Maybe, you want to actually live stream your performance if you're doing a theatre show. Live stream it. You don't need to worry about there being a recording up there that you've got to take down afterwards. It's like, guys, you can come and watch, but if tickets are sold out, I'm going to live stream it. And you've got to watch it live, otherwise you never watch it. Again, it's going to get people coming back to your profile. And whilst they're on your profile, hopefully if you're posting the pictures and you're posting the other videos and other things in your story, they're going to become, almost like a raving fan of yours. They're going to be part of your tribe, and they're going to want to come back and check up on you again and again and again. So I think live is interesting. It also, I've put there as well, it also means that if you mess up, so effing what? Because there's no record of it. So for those who are really scared now about going, oh, I don't want to go on Periscope, or I don't want to go on Facebook Live because it gets recorded, and then what if somebody downloads it and they get hold of it and it's there forever, and even if I take it down, they might still have a copy of it. No one can do that on Instagram. If you mess up, it disappears. No one gives a shit. Bar you, okay? You've just got to get over that initial hurdle and go, right, let's just put an Instagram live video out and see what happens. The first Instagram live video I did the other day with me and Chris, the voiceover engineer at the voiceover gallery, my voiceover agent, no one viewed it. Nobody even tuned in. So it was a brilliant practice because we'd never used it before. And I was like, I don't know how this even works, Chris. Let's just go live and see what happens. Nobody even looked at it. At the time, I think I had about 100 followers, so hardly anyone was going to see it. I think the account over the last week's gone up by about 350 followers. So the traction on there is pretty quick as well. So that's Instagram Live, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to be like, right, well, I don't know how I produce any of this stuff. So I've got some basic dimensions for you, so you know how you can produce this stuff, all right? If you watch on the replay, you can download a PDF of these dimensions by clicking on the link underneath the video. You guys might want to take a screenshot now if you're watching live, or again, you can wait till tomorrow and I'll upload this to actonthis.tv. Images, if you're editing an image, should be 1,000. They're square, okay? So it should be 1,000 by 1,000 pixels if you want really good quality. Square videos, if you want HD, you can go into your video editing software and just set your session up that you're going to be editing in to 1080 by 1080. So you might have heard of 1080p, which is like real high definition. It's not as high as 4K, but it's really, good quality. So you want 1080, but normally it'd be 1080 and then a different, a different height. It'd be 1080 across and then a different height. 1080p by, what is it? I can't remember the actual resolution. But on this, because it's Instagram, it's square. So it's 1080 across, 1080 down. And your videos should be 50 megabytes. So 720p, Miranda, is half the resolution of 1080. So it goes standard is 960 by 540. Then you've got 1280 by 720. And then I can't remember it's not 1080 by 720. It's 1080 by it's something else. Oh, I can't remember. But don't worry about it. You don't need to know. We can figure that out. But yeah, 1080 by 1080, and then your video should be 50 megabytes or less. But if you're only doing a minute, I mean, that's absolutely ample because you're going to do a 60-second video. But that's how you would create a square video. Now, within the square, you can actually still keep the actual aspect ratio of your video. So I'll play the very start of my reel again and just have a look. When the first clip comes up, it's not square, okay? So the picture's square and the video is square, but inside the square, it's normal. Have a look.
Wow. Well, thanks. How did you know?
Not much gets past me.
So see how it was normal, and you have the black borders top and bottom, okay? So that's fine. So you have to blow the video up and make it square, but the actual container for the video should be square, and that's 1080 by 1080. Then you've got your story. Now your story is a really weird ratio, but if you're creating a picture, because you can put pictures in your story as well, or you're creating a video, you want it 640 by 1136. Now again, this all sounds complicated to people, but these are just settings you just type in to your video editing software when you are setting up the resolution of the video you're about to edit. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't get this is rubbish. It's fucking easy, all right? Get your head around it. Don't complain and be a technophobe. This is easy, all right? You're just typing in 1080 by 1080 or 640 by 1136. You don't need to worry about it after that. It's done, okay? And get creative, okay? So for videos, obviously you've got a video editing program you might be using. You could use, if you've got a Mac, something like iMovie. You could use the free version of Windows Movie Maker on PC if you've got a PC. If you've got a Mac, you could use something called ScreenFlow as well, or Camtasia is very good if you've got a PC for making little things like this. And you can use Canva for all your pictures, and Canva is free. It's an online editing tool for images, completely free. If you go to actonthis.tv, I did a tutorial on how to use Canva. It's completely free. It's a 15-minute video of how you use this to create really compelling pictures, quotes, stuff for your headshots, thumbnails for your videos. Very, very easy. So Canva for your pictures, and then obviously you can use editing software, for your videos. But they are the dimensions there that you want everything in. Images 1000 by 1000, videos 1080 by 1080, and then the story videos are a weird resolution, 640 by 1136. And you can also have pictures as well for your story pictures of 640 by 1136 as well. So people get that. If you took a screenshot of that whilst it's up. For those listening on the audio experience, I apologise you're not seeing any of this. I hope you are taking notes. I now release all the audio for these Periscopes, guys, on iTunes. and on Stitcher, so I know some people might be listening to this. So massive shout out to you. Go to actsonthis.tv. You'll be able to find this Periscope replay if you just search for Instagram, and you can download a PDF actually telling you all about this. And for those who haven't subscribed to the Acts on This TV audio experience, bloody get over to iTunes or Stitcher if you've got an Android device. So iTunes if you've got an Apple device, Stitcher if you've got an Android or anything else. Subscribe, guys. I'm putting up loads of free audio up there all the time for stuff that's really going to help you. Phone calls as well, so like famous actors and directors and producers and stuff, all for free. Go check it out. Very entertaining. Listen to it whilst you're walking the dog. So 3 accounts to follow. Okay, there's so many accounts, guys, on here. I've been totally biased tonight. I'm going to be honest. This is just a plug. But you will find production companies. Steve says he listens to the audio. Cheers, Steve. You will find top casting directors, producers, writers. Everyone's on Instagram, even if they're not using it for their work right now, because they too are using it to take fucking pictures of their lattes. They're still on there, okay? Red Production Company on there. Lewis Arnold, the Broadchurch director, on there. Everybody is on there, okay? As are Act On This TV, obviously, the official account for Act On This. Go and follow that, and I will follow you back. Anyone who follows me, yeah, I will follow you right back. So at least you're going to have a follower, all right? Ross A. Grant is me. Of course, that's my personal one. So you'll see soon what I'm going to be doing with this in my own career. And then I've got to give a shout out to Chris Stone Films, because he was the guy who edited that 1-minute version of my show reel for me. Fanny says, I don't think I've followed yet. Well, I will, Fanny. I'm going to be following back everybody who follows me. So I'm going to make sure I do that over the next week. If you follow me, I'm going to go back through all my followers and I'll follow you all back. So follow at Act On This TV, at Ross A. Grant, at Chris Stone Films. Now, the reason I'm not put up everybody else is because I want you guys to do something for yourself, and I want you to post a list of the people who you have followed on the Facebook group, so other people can then go and follow those people as well. So if you're part of the Facebook group at Act On This, it's facebook.com/groups/ActOnThisTV. Get in the Facebook group, and then I'll create a thread, and then anyone you find interesting, add it to the thread. Go, guys, I've just found this writer on there. I've just found this independent production company. I've just found this producer. And let's together find a list of people who we all want to be following, who are putting out decent content, and who we want to see our content as well. So I'll create, or you can create, someone can create a thread in the Acts On This Facebook group, and we can all add to that. Don't create separate ones every time. It will all get lost. Let's create one main thread for the Instagram follows, okay? And then we can all follow each other as well. So that's kind of a brief overview, all right? There's some ninja stuff I want to share with you when I've kind of tested it over the next week, 2 weeks. But for now, ultimately, yeah, let's just have a little bit of a recap. Get yourself posting your photos, so headshots, behind the scenes of any acting jobs that you're on, if you're allowed, remember. Inspirational quotes, people love that. They always share those. And any special skills, I think that's a real big deal. You know, if you've got special skills and you're not just an actor, you do other stuff, because, you know, hopefully you've got other passions in your life. I think you'd be living a very limited life if all you did was wait for the phone to ring from your agent and you weren't out actually in the real world. Get some pictures of it up there, okay? Not of lattes, not of avocado on toast. I'm fucking sick of seeing avocado on toast on Instagram. Let's not have that. Put some special skills on there. Put some inspirational quotes up there. Put some behind-the-scenes stuff up there, and put your headshots up there as well. Videos, remember, 60 seconds or less. Let's get a video cut of your reel to 60 seconds or less, or just a scene that you have done that you're proud of. Like, I want to put that out there, because if someone sees that, you know what? They're going to be impressed. They're going to like it. You know, they're going to become aware of me, and they might just be casting something, or they might just keep me in their mind for 6 months. You never know. And they go, oh, I saw that girl horse riding, that actress or whatever. She was doing all that really cool, I don't know, sword fighting, whatever you do. People might just remember you. And if you do something compelling and interesting, they're at least going to follow you. So they're going to, you know, you're going to keep them within reach, okay? And then stories. Again, these disappear after 24 hours. If you screw up, don't worry about it. 24 hours later, it's going to be gone. Or you can actually delete it instantly, okay? But if you put something out there, the longest it's ever going to be online for is 24 hours. Then it's going to disappear, okay? You can also, little ninja tip, in the settings on Instagram, toggle a little switch that says save my Instagram story to my camera roll, and you can either save it as a one each clip individually, or at the end of the day, you can download the full story. Then, of course, you can upload that full story you did on Instagram to Twitter with, hey guys, check out what I've been doing over on Instagram today. Here's an example of my story. Come follow me if you want to see more. That's what I've been doing for Acts On This. And then, it's, you know, people have gone, oh, I didn't know Instagram could do that. Yeah, I'll go and follow. Like I say, it's gone up. My following on Instagram has gone up on Acts on This organically without cheating from 100, or my own one from 100 to 450. I think I'm on at the moment. It works if you are consistent and you're putting stuff out, but you can regurgitate your stuff from Instagram, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter. Do something with that. So that you're not just using it in one place, but this is the place where you can create it very easily. So that's stories, and then I've not figured out yet. Oh, what am I doing here on these slides? I've not figured live out yet. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use this, but like I say, you can go live. It instantly disappears once you've finished live. It's done. Okay, but this is great if you wanted to put out a performance and go, guys. If you don't tune in, you ain't going to get a replay. Sometimes I do that sometimes by technical fault, I don't have a replay of something that I've done a live broadcast on, and that's on this. And when I tell people, look, there might not be a replay of this because I can't guarantee you, more people show up because it is a thing. If you're not here live, you don't get a second chance. Sometimes people are very lazy and like, oh, I'll just wait for the replay. Well, sometimes there ain't ever going to be a replay on Instagram. There certainly isn't. James is saying slightly off topic, but would you have a Facebook page? Yes. So a Facebook page is quite useful at the moment, James. I can't go too depth right now, but if you have a page, you can go live from your page. Oh, obviously you can go live on Facebook from your personal account, but you might want to keep your personal account personal. So you only want to go live on your personal account for your mates when you're doing fun stuff, where you can be silly, and it's not professional. You might want to have an a Facebook page, because when you have a page, you can go live from your page, and then it will go out to anyone who's liked your page. So I have a Facebook group for Act on This, where we all get together and it's private. If you're not part of that, come and join facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. But then I have an Act on This page as well. So I have a like page and a group. All the chat and the private stuff goes down in the group. The official front-facing version of Act on This is the page, and I can go live from the page as opposed to going live as Ross. And then everyone who's liked my page gets the notifications to go, Act on This's page is live, go check out the video. So I do think it's valuable to have a page, mate. You've got to keep that consistent as well, though. But what a great way to keep it consistent by regurgitating the stuff you're putting out and creating on Instagram back on your Facebook page. It's a way to, keep that consistent and new content going up all the time. So that's live. And then there's another shot of all of the resolutions, guys, that you're going to be posting on Instagram. So ultimately, follow those accounts at Act on This TV, at Ross A. Grant, at Chris Stone Films. I'm going to follow you all back. Let's do this together. Like I say, guys, in 2 years' time, I promise you, you start building a platform now, it's going to pay dividends, okay? The world's attention is moving online. Think about where you spend most of your time right now. I bet it's not sat in front of the telly watching it as it goes out at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. If you're catching up on programs, you probably do it in bed on your iPad. You're probably watching exclusives on Netflix and Amazon Prime. TV is dying. It is becoming the radio. I promise you, TV is becoming radio used to be king. Obviously, TV came and, it took over. Okay? Now the internet is here. The internet is becoming the TV, and TV is becoming the radio. And you just got to trust me on that, all right? And you've got to look at where the puck is going, and I promise you the puck is going in that direction. Start capitalizing on it now whilst you have time. Fanny says you're still down with the Archers. Awesome. I love it, Fanny. Well, you know what? You can't beat a bit of radio sometimes as well. I listen to a lot of audio, but I listen to all my audio on demand as well. Podcasts and stuff like that. It's all catch up. It's all internet based. That's where people's attention is going. And as an actor, it's your job to follow the attention of people, because that's the only way you're going to get paid, is if people are watching you. So let's end on this, guys, all right? Wolfgang von Goethe, German writer, wrote Faust, if you ever read that. It's pretty old, but maybe you've read it if you're an actor. Said, what's he saying there? I missed your comment there, Mary. Write it again. But he said, what is not started today is never finished tomorrow. So particularly if in the UK, we're at the end of the day now, or if you're watching this on the replay, or you're watching this, hearing it on the audio experience, I just want everyone to set up an account on Instagram now, whilst it's fresh in your head, because what isn't started today won't be finished tomorrow. Okay, so at least start today. You don't have to go and post any pictures yet. You You don't have to do anything. You just keep your account in reserve if you want for a little while whilst you think about what's going on and you get some stuff together. But get over to Instagram and just get yourself an account. It's completely free. Follow Act on This TV, follow Ross A. Grant, I'll follow you back, and then let's start as a community in the Act on This TV community. Let's all start following each other, commenting on each other's photos. The more you comment on other people's photos, the more Instagram's algorithm picks it up and the more it gets shared. So if we all comment and like each other's pictures, ultimately the more people within our networks are going to see that stuff, and that's really valuable when you're first starting off. So let's do it together, and we'll get further much, much faster. Give me some yeses if you're in. All right, some people are probably like, sod it, I can't be arsed, and that's fine. Don't do it. Like I say, let's see where your online presence is at in 2 years' time. It's real easy to manage separate accounts on Instagram. It is. It absolutely is. Yep, got a nice following, so don't really want to have to start again. New page. On what do you mean, Mary? You don't need a new one of Instagram. No, just start putting out your acting stuff. Don't create multiple pages of just you. I don't do that. I mix it all in. I'm in. Look, all these people, I can't even read the comments fast enough, but a lot of people are in. How do you upload from laptop, Mac? Okay, you don't really. Unfortunately, you've got to upload from an iPad or a mobile device. You can buy some sort of software for online software for Mac and PC, which will schedule posts to your Instagram account. But it's not really quite the same as getting your camera out on your phone and doing it. The beautiful thing is obviously having a camera in your pocket everywhere you go. Is Instagram want you out documenting your life out and about, as opposed to just sat in front of your desk. Every time you created a picture from your camera on your webcam or whatever, it'd probably be the same environment or similar. If you're on a laptop, you'd probably be in a cafe somewhere. It'd be the same stuff all the time. Great thing about having a camera on your phone and the internet on your phone is you can upload stuff wherever you are, and actually show people really interesting, compelling, behind-the-scenes stuff, particularly in the stories. My IG is a bit avocado on toast, says Mary. Mary, let's quit it. Let's quit the avocado on toast. You can go back through if you want and just delete the stuff that you think's a bit too flowery, and then just go, right, from now on, I'm just going to be posting, more professional stuff. Or if you want, it's very easy to actually manage multiple accounts from Instagram. It's literally just a click and you just swap accounts. So you could have an official one. I manage my own and the Act on This TV account. I don't find it too hard. So it's pretty simple, if you wanted to do that. It's not a huge time zap. But like I say, guys, the guys who are going to get the most out of this are going to be the people who commit to it. If you're going to dabble in it, don't bother, because there's no point. It's your profile's going to look like a ghost town after a couple of weeks. You might get enthusiastic about it for 3 days and then it's done. The guys who are going to win on this are going to be the people who are showing up every day consistently. And I don't know how you don't have that in you. If you say, you are a performer, you're a born performer, this should be like oxygen for you to go, right, I'm going to put myself out there and have people see me, and I've got things worthy to share. If you don't think you've got anything worthy to share, then I'd reevaluate what you're doing. Or step up, ultimately just step up and go, right, okay, I'm going to mix it up, I'm going to put some stuff out there. Fanny's, she says she treats social media like a job. Fanny, you're prolific. I try and be as prolific as I can be. And I have to manage Act on This's Twitter account, my own Twitter account, Act on This's YouTube account, Act on This's Facebook page, Facebook group, my own, everything. I'm literally, for me, this whole online presence is a 15-hour-a-day job, but it doesn't feel like work. I love it. Use Google Images, says Anthony, to save them online, then download to your phone. Yeah, absolutely. You can get interesting images from anywhere. The more personal they are and the better they are. Obviously the more they are you. But if there's something that you're like, that's cool, and I've seen that, take a screenshot of it on your phone and just post that. A lot of people kind of do that. You can, if you've got something on your mind, or you've written something, you might have written part of a script or a poem or whatever, you can just write it in your notes on your phone, take a screenshot of it, and then just put that out on Instagram. So you can write stuff as well. There's lots of ways to be creative. But like I say, the videos that I've shown you tonight are just a couple of ways that I'm using it, and I'm seeing big traction. I put my show reel out on my personal account last night, and like I said, I've only got 450 followers. 30% of those people have now seen that. It's had about 110 plays, I think. Just from last night. Now, to get 110 plays on Twitter, I don't know if you would get that in as quick a time. And I've got a few thousand followers on my personal account on Twitter. But it's powerful. Ultimately, yeah, embrace this, guys. And we're all experimenting. So if you find out something that's cool, share it with me. Share it with the Facebook group, and we can all take this. But this is where I am absolutely see it. And it's not just me. There's people who mentor me who are massive internet marketers, guys. People who run, $150 million ad agencies, all based on online social media for the biggest brands in the world. I'm very grateful to know a few of those people. And I'm hearing this directly from them as well. So this is absolutely where people's attention online is going. Fanny asked about Pinterest. Now, Pinterest is a really interesting one, Fanny, because it blew up in the States. In Europe, didn't do very much. In America, it was massive. Nobody could have envisaged that, though, that it was going to be so huge there. Now, the beautiful thing, right, if you're savvy, okay, and it doesn't work all the time because Pinterest is the exception, okay, but if you look at what's blowing up in America right now, it generally has the same effects here 6 to 9 months later. So we have like a golden opportunity as Brits and Europeans to look at the market in the States, and we can almost predict the future. And this is what I've been doing with Instagram, really looking at it on a daily basis and seeing the metrics and seeing how much traction it's getting within the entertainment industry and going, wow, this can only happen here as well. Now, there are exceptions. Like I say, Pinterest blew up in the States, didn't so much over here. But with what I showed you before, Actors Life, Actors, the hashtag, and all the stuff going on in the UK, 3 million posts already. I don't think Instagram's going to be the Pinterest of the UK, It's going to have traction here. It's already getting it. I'm seeing it myself and I'm experiencing it. You can either jump on that now and be an early adopter, or you can wait and go, but historically, I want to be right. I get a lot of likes from American Actors on IG, says James. Yeah, and also, isn't it nice to kind of create contacts internationally? Who knows? Load of my mates have gone over to LA and worked in the States. I'm applying to sports companies to get free stuff in exchange for photos. That's funny. Something, something that people can go into, a bit of promotion and stuff like that. Absolutely. I have sponsors for Acts on this. Absolutely. This microphone and all the kit that I use, an amazing company supplies me with all of this stuff in exchange for publicity. Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about the robots that follow and comment generically with something? Anytime that happens, I just delete the comment and block them. Now, it is on Twitter. Twitter alone has 25 million robots at any one time. I'm sure Instagram has a similar amount. It's got 500 million, people using it on Instagram. So you're going to get that. But I would just delete the comments. It's generally something like, hey, want some more followers? And then they will try and sell you followers. That is bullshit. One way to get banned on Twitter or on Instagram is to buy followers. People will go, oh, look, I can buy 10,000 followers for £20. And then they do it. And it's just, you can see through it in an instant. You'll see an unknown actor with 35, 40,000 followers. And you're just like, you look at their followers and they're all Chinese or Arabic, or they're just like a generic profile with one tweet. They're all fake. And it will get you banned because it's gaming the system. And if you create a great following naturally on Instagram or same on YouTube or anything like that, and then you end up gaming the system and they suddenly close your account down, that is like massive amounts of work just lost. That's why I would always recommend anybody building a business online does not build it on one social platform alone. Make sure you spread your time and your investment across multiple platforms, or if you can, own the platform. It would be like me building actonthis.tv on a framework I didn't own. I own that completely. It's on my own dedicated server. Nobody can touch that. No one can close that down. Mark Summers was saying stuff about this. Word of mouth goes when someone has fake followers. Yeah, I mean, you can just see. Anyone who's savvy can just tell if somebody's fake or not. Because you just click on followers and you just have a look at a few of their followers. And none of them will be to do with the acting industry for a start. That's one way you can spot it. And most of them will be in foreign countries, or will even be in Japanese writing. Or they'll just be, you can tell these fake profiles, they all have a similar look. So if you're doing that, you're really shooting yourself in the foot ultimately. And if you do get banned, you know, and you've got this one username on Twitter and you've got the same username on Instagram and the same username on YouTube, that's really good. One of those accounts gets closed down and suddenly you go from being Fanny Compton on every platform and then you have to go, oh, but on Instagram I'm Fanny Compton 694. It's bullshit. You need a consistent brand. So don't risk it and don't get kicked off these platforms by cheating. Ultimately, the best way to create a following and, well, not, I don't like to call it a following, just a connection with people, is to put good content out. It's just to put good content out. Fanny says she knows somebody who's got loads of followers, but at least half are Chinese. Well, there you go. There you go. That speaks volumes. It's bullshit. And also, guys, you've got to realise, right, what you're aiming for in this industry is not width. So in business, right, this is what you're aiming for as well. You could go, in you know what, in your acting career, this is what you're after. In voiceover, this is what you're after. You can, say the industry is this wide, all right? You can spread yourself 10 miles wide, and then you'll be like an inch deep across the whole thing. Or what you aim to do is you want to spread yourself an inch wide and go 10 miles deep. So I promise you, 1,000 followers on Instagram who are all in the industry and you are putting out great content for is worth more than 50,000 fake bullshit accounts or people who are nothing to do with the industry. So it's not all about the width, it's about the depth every single time. In the voiceover industry, I tell people all the time, don't try and do everything. The industry is this wide, okay? For me, a 20 to 30s male voice is like this much of the industry. Within that much of the industry, I'm generally the general northern or, you know, northern neutral male in that, which puts me into this bracket. And then within that, you know, I kind of have a friendly, upbeat, you know, bright kind of tone, which puts me into this niche here. So out of all of this, I'm actually just this. I'm not trying to be any of this, and yet I work almost every single day as a voiceover artist. I've got 4 hours of animation tomorrow, 4 hours of animation on Wednesday, adverts on Friday. It transformed my life because I've got self-awareness. I was like, this is what I am. I'm not all of this, and I'm not trying to be everything to everyone because one way to please nobody. It's the same in the acting industry as well, and it's the same with social media presence. You've got to be, you know, niche to a certain extent and be putting out great content for your people, and they will just, like I say, become raving fans because they know what they're getting with you. It's not like, you know, you're different every time or you're trying to be a million things and try to please everybody because, like I say, you'll inevitably just please no one. So it's interesting, but yeah, I'm excited. I just think, you know, over the next 6 months, I'm going to hammer it. I'm going to hit it hard. For the rest of March, I'm going to focus on the Acts on This TV account. Then I'm going to start utilizing what I've learned from that and putting it into my own Twitter. I keep getting all mixed up, my own Instagram. And then just see, you know, let's see where we end up at the end of 2017. But I would love for as many of you guys to come on the journey with me. Like I said, I'm just documenting it. I'm not saying I'm the guru. I feel I know quite a bit about this, but it's going to be a journey for me. Right now, like I say, I have 400 followers or something. You know, it would be nice to have 10,000 by the end of this year, all very targeted in the acting industry, and be putting out consistent content on a daily basis that people are enjoying and, you know, and you become known for. So yeah, if you need any help with anything, let me know. But has that been useful? Do you think it's something that you're going to get involved with, you're going to do? Or is it something you're overwhelmed by because you're like, oh, I can't do the technology side of things or something like that? The hearts are coming through, so hopefully people are enjoying it, and you know, they're going to get involved with this as well. But that's kind of everything for tonight, guys. So like I say, yeah, as that quote said before, what's not started today is never finished tomorrow. So start today, set up your account, and let's all connect. You know, see what happens. I'm going to be back on Wednesday night. Steve says, really looking forward to Instagram. Definitely, but I'm a slow starter. Don't worry, Dawn. What you've got to be is you've got to be a hare, a tortoise dressed up as a hare. Because it's always a marathon. It's never a sprint. But sometimes people want to see you at the forefront and, like, you know, kind of as confident as the hare. But really, we all know the tortoise is going to win every single time. Slow and steady always wins the race. I promise you. So I'll be back on Wednesday, guys, with this book, Bronnie Ware, 5 Regrets of the Dying. We're going to be looking at the second regret. People voted on it last week. The first regret we looked at was this. This is super, like, it's inspirational, guys, but it's super real, okay? These are real regrets of dying people who died with these regrets. We don't want to have these. The first one, and the most common one of all, terminally ill palliative care patients that this woman interviewed was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And it was a story about a woman called Grace who lived with a tyrant of a man her whole life, who she felt trapped with. About 70 years old, he ended up moving into her home and she felt free for the first time in all those decades. Unfortunately, she was then diagnosed with terminal cancer and she died very shortly afterwards with that regret that she lived the life that other people expected of her, not the life she wanted to live. Please don't end up doing that to yourself, you know. It's not a dress rehearsal. This is it. We're going to be reading this one, regret number 5, which is, this is on Wednesday night. I wish I had let myself be happier. Talk about this all the time, about how happiness is a choice, and a lot of people struggle with that. But you're going to learn some stuff in that book that's hopefully going to make you see that with a bit more clarity. Please let yourself be happy. Give yourself permission to be happy with what you have right now. I think that's really, really important. Mary Fox has started following me on Instagram. All right, Mary. Excellent work. Well done. This is the first Periscope I've fully watched. It's been great. Thank you, James. Appreciate you, man. Come and watch, next time live as well on Wednesday. And if anybody's watching this for the first time, there's another 165 of these on YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/actonthisTV, you can watch 165 of the previous Periscopes. That's consistency for you guys on social media. Every Monday, every Wednesday night for the last 18 months we've been here. And I commit to continue to do that. Ross, what would be the best thing I can do whilst I'm healing? Sam, so why don't you document that, mate? That's interesting. In terms of, so Sam's broke his shoulder. I don't know what it's like to have broken my shoulder. Put that on Instagram story. I'd watch it because it's a new experience. I've never experienced that. I think there's a lovely thing about Instagram, about the human side of it as well. Content, guys, when you're creating content, don't let it be too polished, right? I try and, put stuff out quite polished. I'd put a lot of effort into the presentations and the graphical nature of stuff, but I'm quite happy with ums and ers and stumbling and this is live and we had something freeze before. In fact, I think I'm frozen right now. This is this is just showing you my casing points. Those on the replay won't see this because this is recorded separately to the live stream, but I just froze then. Did I freeze for anybody else? Yeah, see? You messed up. That's what I'm talking about. Vulnerability. And doesn't have to be polished. I just froze for ages then. But that's it. That's life. And you guys hopefully will forgive me for that. It's the same with everybody else. We like it sometimes when people mess up. We like it sometimes when things go wrong. Don't have all your content dead polished. You don't have to do 50 takes, Sam, of you doing your thing so you get the lighting exactly right and you look great and you've just got that soft lighting on yourself, all this kind of stuff. People like the live, rough nature of it, and particularly when people muck up or make mistakes or something goes wrong like that, because it's like, look, we're all human. This happens to everybody. So be vulnerable, and don't be too polished. It's almost like robotic. Fanny says only 50 takes. yeah, cut it down, Fanny, from the 300 you're currently doing to the 50, and you'll be all right. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what you guys produce ultimately, and there is no right or wrong answer. Just use it. But you'd be surprised how many people... Look at that PewDiePie guy on YouTube who films himself playing computer games and earns multi-million-dollar revenue from that every year. He just plays computer games. You don't have to be super spectacular with what you're creating, but be consistent. That is key. And, and just put a bit of variety out there. Let's all... I think it's just nice seeing into people's worlds, as long as it's not pictures of avocado on toast and lattes. And we've all been guilty of that when we first get on Instagram. We think that's what it's for. It's way more than that. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining. I'm going to be back on Wednesday with the book club. And like I said, if you're watching the replay, massively appreciate you for getting this far. If you're listening on the audio experience, if you're walking the dog, driving the car, going to an audition, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day. And I will catch up with you guys on another scope very, very soon. All right. Anyone got anything, any last comments before we end for tonight? I found the DOP for some sizzle footage on Instagram. Excellent work. Nice one, David. Share who you find on Instagram as well in the Facebook group. Like I say, I'll create a little thread on there and we can all put our people in that we're finding, because I think that's interesting, who you're going to discover on there. Awesome. Looks like we're all good. People are just saying thanks. Cheers, Dawn. Cheers, David. Cheers, Jen. Cheers, Steve. Thanks, Fanny. Everybody who's been here tonight, massively appreciate you. And I'll be back on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. All right? Now get out there, get on Instagram, and go and post something great. Bye for now.